Hello there and welcome to another Stompy 51 miniature adventure. There will be many people thinking about some seriously new, funky, and no doubt wildly expensive Games Workshop Seraphon or Lizardmen. But I never fancied any serious hobbing this weekend, and so I thought I would dig up from the pile of opportunity my Harlequin Miniatures Lizardmen from, I think must be the late 90s. Probably more for one of the miniature agnostic skirmish games, and, if ever painted, as colourful as I can get. Anyway, don't mind the drying washing in the background, it's all part of the immersive experience. So we start off with some kind of bigger and heavier Saurus-like dude. I mean, those faces really do give you a sense of those exhibitions they used to have of the first dinosaurs in Britain. You know, like these ones at Crystal Palace. Unfortunately, I mean, because these are very, very old, some of the pieces have been lost to time, including this fellow's dino riding companion. But my hope is that he will fit on this little dinosaur of some kind. I can't even remember what they're called. This Games Workshop one from what must be the late 90s. Yeah, the widths sort of do seem to tally up a little, but I guess I'll have to see. And it will be a bit of a green stuffing task as well. And he has a bit of a little saber there. And unfortunately, the tip of his spear has broken as well. But again, hopefully, that will be a matter for a paperclip and a drilling tool. And just stick that on over there. And he will look suitably menacing. Then we come to the sort of smaller, skinky type of riders. I mean, there we've got our reference Madonna Ulanti, who is still on eBay. No one seems to want her. I mean, I remember buying her in a little shop in Worthing for a princely sum back in about 2000. And I can't think of a use for her, so she might as well go to someone who likes it. Or I'm swapping these things on Lead Adventure Forum on the Bazaar of Obscurities. If you're watching this, you're definitely a Lead Adventure kind of person, and I hope you're on it. Anyway, so you've got to be careful about moving these things around, because they do tend to snap. I don't know how old this lead is. Actually, it's fairly robust. I wonder if these little Velociraptor type things came out before or after the Jurassic Park movies. But he does look suitably menacing. I mean, he needs a shield. And I think, strangely, I like the look of this kind of Roman centurion type shield by, not Oathmark, from the Oathmark Miniatures range by Nick at North Star. Now, alas, the tails have been lost to time. So again, I think it's going to be a question of putting in a little bit of paperclip and then just putting a bit of green stuff around it. But, you know, if you can't green stuff a tail, what kind of green stuffer are you? I mean, I can green stuff nothing, but I'm willing to learn. Also, let's just see what they look like with some of the actual GW Lizardman shields, which strangely I think don't look as good as the Roman Centurion one. So I need to stop moving that around. There you go. And we've got a few more of those. Fortunately, some of them will need a bit of work because with time, one of the swords is broken off there. But again, I'm hoping, you know, wouldn't it look quite cool with that? Let's just see if you could drill, because I've got the drill bit is about the same width as this paper clip. So let's just see if that would fit inside. Yes, it can be done. Let it be written, let it be done, and all that. He seems to be in better nick. Are these raptors all the same? So these two raptors are the same. No, they are all the same. Well, this one seems to have a bit of fun bending the tail. Yeah, they're all the same. No, wait, some of them are running. I know that one, unfortunately, is he broken? Yes, so what I'm going to do with that one is I think what you do is you drill a hole in his tum-tum, and he's going to be a leaping velociraptor. And what I've learned you do is you just cut this there, drill in that a little bit there, drill into the tum-tum, and no one really notices so far as under the tum-tum. And then these are some scatter bits, I suppose, for basing. I always like to sort of show that they've totally mullered the opposition by leaving bits of the opposition all over the floor. Bit of a skeleton there. And these are my favourites. I mean, they're pretty chunky. They look like some kind of Hearthguard Lizardmen with their giant, slightly strange looking axes. They look like the kind of the seraphim and the cherubim, or whatever they were called at the time of the temple, like in the Lost Ark, you know, in the Holy of Holies thing they carried around. They were facing each other. The little children of Israel were happy. And when they turned away, it represented dissent and upsetness amongst the tribe. And thus it will be with the little lizardmen. Grrr. And we come to the infantry. Again, a few broken swords. But again, hopefully easily rectified with a bit of pinning. And what do we reckon about? I think his arm would have to be bent out for a shield. Or he needs a smaller shield. Yeah, that does look a bit better, doesn't it? So there's no, they're different sculpts. No, how many sculpts are there? Very old school, this. So it looks like two different sculpts. Oops. Two different sculpts, and then some kind of shooty types with what I think is supposed to be a crossbow. I'll have to find something to replace that. I'm sure I do have. And there you go. And if one fancies a bit of an old school Victorian approach to the dinosaurs, one need look no further than Antediluvian Miniatures and their Lost World range. Otherwise, this weekend I largely messed about, pulled together a few bits for Kings of War, the Herd. You can see the Armada ships in the back. I'll do a video at some point. Anyway, thank you very much for watching to the end. Do leave a comment for me to reply to happily whilst I wait for a train over the many times I'll be doing so over the course of the week. And keep well, keep safe, and see you soon.